says our stream is live. We live? Oops, I put the wrong episode title. It's 898. Adjust this.
Damn, I almost made 800 and 900.
We are live, though. Bro.
We're live?
We're live.
Great.
Let me adjust the settings.
We're live on fucking YouTube, bitches.
Welcome.
I think we're live. Yep.
Now are we recording? Are you recording it to however it's going to be recorded for audio?
Yeah, I mean, we've been recording audio.
You've been recording audio for a while?
Yeah,
Let's go!
we're doing it. All right, fellas. Dirty Sports, episode 898, live from YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome. You're fucking my. What are you doing?
Randy's here. Sorry about that.
We need to shock your brain.
What is happening? Let's try this again. Welcome.
Are we sure that are we running? Are we live?
We've been live. I'm taking some water. I feel like AIDS.
I don't think you're allowed to say that. I think we're not live.
All right, we're going to try this again. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host sitting on my right, Joey No Chill Prano.
Who day in Cincinnati?
Oh my God, the boys are back in town.
Also sitting to your right and my left, the Randy Ruther.
Gentlemen.
Talked all the way through the intro. Delayed when we actually went to him.
Can I talk yet?
You can talk
You
now.
can talk.
All right, good.
Put the mic a little closer to your mouth.
I'm there.
I know it's the most disgusting microphone. We have not used these in over a year and a half. And I busted these things out. They look like they've been sitting in grandma's attic
Yeah, I don't know if that's rust or gunk
or mold.
or mold. This is where COVID started. The top of these microphones.
Dude, they look so gnarly. Absolutely disgusting.
It looks like you were doing butt fuck videos with these before. They're like brown and crusty.
Maybe I was.
Which is every popular podcast on the internet now. It's just
Yep.
like two dudes being like, "You ever butt fuck a girl? You have? Did you get shit on your dick? Sick, dude.
It is
Top 10 holes. All right, we're gonna do a draft of holes that you like to fuck. I'm gonna go first. I'm taking pussy.
Damn it! You knew I was gonna take pussy.
coming out.
Here.
I already won this draft.
We're coming out hot. This is like old Dirty Sports in the Smut Studio,
Yep.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
It's been a minute. You guys got in last night. I'm obviously very under the weather, which I need to just fight through it, right, Randy?
You got this. We've been waiting months for this day, and
Andy,
here we are.
You know what always makes me feel better when I feeling a little bit under the weather? A nice cold Miller Lite. Maybe you should have your first beer in 6 years.
That would be a Hall of Fame podcast.
Yeah.
The Ruther Relapse.
Ruther.
It'd actually be almost 9 years, but who's counting?
Is that when you had your thing 9 years ago?
It was
Wow.
April 5th, 2014.
It was Eric Andre's 40th birthday. He's about to turn 50.
I don't know what birthday it was for him. I'm not sure.
Wild.
Cheers to Andy's head.
Cheers. Let's
Cheers.
cling these cans like Andy's head clinged the downtown LA sidewalk. And now let me pour some of this ear blood down my gullet.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're all together. This is a long-awaited, overdue reunion.
It's just such a great thing that you called me up and you were like, the Giants have clinched a playoff berth. Get here to Cincinnati. Let's celebrate in person. And I was like, let's go.
Let's do Snow Angels.
Yeah. Have the Bengals clinched a playoff berth already?
Oh,
Yeah.
Have we clinched a playoff berth?
A couple
This
weeks
guy,
ago.
come
Couple weeks
on,
ago.
dude. We clinched that week 3.
Now, Randy, how turnt are you? Because
I mean,
like
man.
I purposely drove by the stadium last night when I picked you up from the airport. You were taking pictures.
Photos are up on all social media already.
Yeah. Randy's dressed like he committed a crime, moved to Costa Rica, and still supports his like Bengals team from there. He's like, I go down to the one bar of the satellite dish every Sunday, and I watch my Cincinnati Bengals.
Living the dream, dog. Don't throw at me with a good time.
Or you look like you just left the old Pro Bowl in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly.
I like playing touch football.
Yeah.
It's a good
Like
time.
you got the Hawaiian gear with the. Now this is the illegal jersey, correct?
Yeah.
This is your Randy Ruther.
Yeah.
China sweats.
For everyone watching live. Can we see it?
Yeah. The Randy Ruther 0. Why 0 for Randy? Was that for Harambe?
No, I don't know. I just kept going 0 on all my
I like it.
illegal jerseys. Yeah.
Now, what are people going to say to you tonight? They're going to say,
Who the fuck is Randy Ruther?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, it's some lawyer in like Illinois. There's
Yeah.
actually, if you type in Randy Ruther, a lawyer.
"Wait,
thing
there's a
comes up.
lawyer."
Yeah.
hold on,
Yeah,
hold on
yeah,
a second.
yeah.
I know about this. There's a lawyer in Illinois that
Yeah.
you're basically defaming.
Oh, yeah.
He's well known for suing Chinese jersey manufacturers for breaking copyright law, for breaking trademark violations.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you discover that?
Recently, probably within the last week or so, because I just Googled Randy Ruther because I was going to show somebody.
You're like, have I made the news yet?
Yeah.
No?
But, yeah. There's like a lawyer named Randy Ruther.
Is it spelled Ruther like
oh,
my
yeah.
name?
Oh, yeah.
So that could be a relative of mine,
Probably.
right?
Yeah.
I got to reach out to this guy.
Me too. And apologize.
Now, do you
Because he's
have
probably getting a lot of who days.
guy shows up to work, middle of a court case. The judge is like, "Who day?" And he's like, "Dude, why the fuck are people keep yelling who day to me?"
It's hilarious.
Poor guy.
Yep.
What's your expectation for tonight's game?
Close one. 31-27 Bengals.
Wow, he's giving scores, Prano.
I like it.
You're coming in hot.
31-27 Bengals.
How many touchdown passes Burrow throw?
3. And P. Ryan gets going tonight.
Oh, your boy, P. Ryan.
I was hard on him last year, and now I'm a stan.
You're stand.
P. Ryan Stan.
Yeah.
You're
I
stand.
suck that P. Ryan.
I sucks that P. Ryan off you.
You're standing for P. Ryan.
I don't know. He's been silent but deadly this year.
So, Prano, what are your expectations? Like, you're coming into this, you just want to see a good football game?
I'm going over 14 Millers starting right now.
Okay.
Over 14 Miller Lights. That's my expectation. I'm going to this game. I have no rooting interest. I'll be wearing my Miller Lite snow hat. I have no Bengals gear. I have no Bills gear. I love Burrow. I love Josh Allen. I honestly think at this point, we talked about it yesterday, like I've been on the Chiefs obviously since before the season started. I predicted Mahomes MVP. It looks like that'll come through. I said another AFC Championship game for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs will look suspect. Special teams wise, the Chiefs will look suspect defensively. They will play down to bad teams. I think both of these two teams tonight, right now, are looking better than the Chiefs. I know that's kind of crazy since the Chiefs basically don't lose.
Yeah.
But both of these teams seem to have less holes.
Sure.
So to me, I'm looking at this is like when I went to the Rams Chiefs Monday Night Football game with you.
Okay.
That was during your brief run as a Rams fan.
But we got him back.
Yeah.
The Bengals got him back.
Well, the Rams won the Super Bowl last year. He saw his destiny through with the Rams. They started rough. He immediately, Bandy Andy jumped off the bandwagon. Bandy Andy had scars all over his body from diving off the bandwagon into the brush. And then he hid in the brush he landed in and waited for the fucking Bengals bandwagon to come by. He hopped on like a hobo riding the railway across America in the fucking turn of the century. So to me, this is like going to that Rams-Chiefs game. It's like it could be an AFC Championship game preview. It could certainly be a game that is played again in the playoffs and could essentially be an AFC Championship game, even if it doesn't happen in that round. So I'm just looking at it in terms of an NFL fan, like probably two of the top 3 teams in all of football.
I'll be curious what you say about the stadium, because I've described it as something out of mid-'80s Soviet Union architecture. Wouldn't you say, Justin, where like
Beautiful.
It's just gray. There's just no charm to it. Wouldn't you agree?
It's like the Brady Bunch houses of stadiums.
I'll be
You
real
know,
curious.
When we drove by it, I think the thing I like that in seeing it is it's definitely open in areas.
Yep.
You know,
for sure.
You have that, and I think those always have a cooler feel. I mean, the thing about NFL games is some NFL games you go to and you're like there for the experience of, oh, look at this stadium. Like SoFi is an interesting stadium to be in, but you don't really feel like, oh man, I'm turnt with the Rams fans right now.
Yeah.
You know, even in Dallas, the 2 games we've gone to in Dallas, like I didn't feel like Cowboys fans were all that fucking hype. Like I feel like your stadium is going to be hyped.
Oh, it
tonight.
will.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
It will. The fans will be going crazy.
So that like I'm interested from it, like especially in baseball, really like the architecture and the build of the stadium and all that, and like the food and the sight lines and whatever is a big way of judging the stadium. For me, for football, it's really the fan base almost is the biggest factor.
Yeah.
And then all the outside. I mean, you have a Miller Lite deck, so you have a Miller Lite deck and a turnt fan base. I'm in.
Yeah. No, it should be fun. I mean, look, this is arguably one of the most fun times of year. Like, playoffs are great, but like these last couple weeks of the NFL season where you're still trying to figure out those final spots, you're still trying to figure out seeding, I always think it's such an exciting time of year because even tonight's game is going to have huge implications. We have
Bengals can win the NFC North tonight, lock it up, or AFC North. They can lock that up tonight. Then they don't even have to worry about a Ravens game next week, other than obviously potentially still playing for the 1 seed. The Bills, essentially chances of the 1 seed go out the window with tonight. And then you guys are waiting on the Chiefs, who do they play the last week of the season?
The Raiders.
The Jarrett Stidham Raiders.
What do you do? Where's that in? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Do we give any chances?
To the Raiders?
Yeah.
I guess you give them yeah, of course, play spoiler. Give them a chance.
Right? Let's see here.
But if it's in KC, kind of no.
It's in Vegas. It's on Saturday, 4:30.
Wow.
I think that helps the Chiefs, those primetime games.
That it's a Saturday game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck the Chiefs. That's what I think.
Do you hate the Chiefs?
I do.
Like, hate them. Hate their fans?
Yeah, like we beat them 3 times in a row, and their fans like still have the audacity to be like, you guys just you're not that good. You just get lucky. It's like 3 times in a row. Okay.
Well, and this is it's so funny because the internet is one fan base, and then the fan base, like, to me, in all the years I've been a football fan, it's like most of the Chiefs fans I know pretty passionate,
Yeah.
pretty good fans
For sure.
Yeah.
You don't really, I don't remember. I mean, even with their success lately with Mahomes and whatever, like, you don't see a lot of people running around all the time going like, we're the fucking shit, no one's gonna beat us, whatever. Now the internet, of course, a totally different place.
Yeah.
Right. There's a dirtball sent me a thing yesterday that the internet, the Vikings fans are claiming a conspiracy against the Packers overwatering the middle of the field.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, that's what? Like, you both play on the same field. And they're like, yeah, but they like to run the ball more than us. This is their way of shutting down fucking Jefferson. I mean, as far as delusional fan bases, especially on the internet goes, the Vikings are up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Vikings are winning. Them and the Lions are pretty neck and neck. What's this conspiracy?
The conspiracy is that they overwatered the field so that it was like a slipperier, shittier turf situation, but that the Packers could then prepare for that. Like, by the way, both teams don't go out. I can tell you with 100% certainty, especially after knowing a NFL equipment director, that's a big part of going out and warming up is deciding what cleats you're going to wear, deciding which screw-ins you're going to put in your cleats, deciding whatever. Like, those teams come with everything they need to make an adjustment because you never know. You never know if it might a Midwest thing, like you might get snow, you might get rain, like you weren't expecting. So they come prepared for that. The idea that they all showed up like, oh, it's going to be dry. Now these are the shoes we have, and the Packers could water down the field. And then, I mean, it's insanity. Also, I'm not really sure what watering the middle of the field has to do with Kirk Cousins being the fraudulent turnover machine that he was.
He looked so bad. I knew that game was over the minute they didn't get a touchdown on that block punt, and they just settled for a field goal. I was like, this game is not good. And then, of course, they get the kickoff return. He is who we think he is.
Here's the thing about the Vikings.
Yesterday.
There's some portion of me that's like that is like excited for it to happen and then be like, see, Vikings fans, I told you. But it's not even really that exciting for me because I know it's going to happen.
Right.
It's crazy. Like, there's other years where you're like kind of you're putting you're writing checks with your mouth and you're like, oh, what if it doesn't happen though? What if Nick Foles does win the Super Bowl? And you're like, fuck, right? But I know it's going to happen this year. Like, I mean, first of all, here's the teams in the NFC playoffs. The Eagles are currently the 1 seed. They beat the shit out of the Vikings. Dallas still has a chance of catching the Eagles. They beat the shit out of the Vikings. You have the Packers, who are sneaking around the 7th spot. They beat the shit out of the Vikings. The Lions, who are hanging around that 7th playoff spot, also beat the Vikings. The Giants, who they needed a 61-yarder at the fucking buzzer to beat at home, are in the playoffs. The only team that the Vikings haven't basically lost to already is the Bucks or the Seahawks, the teams that might get in.
Yeah. Well, like yesterday's game is just proof not only how big of fraud's there, but how big of fraud Cousins. Like, that's his career. That is a microcosm of his career.
If you're pressured at all, you will wilt. You will throw multiple interceptions. He threw 3. He also lost a fumble. One of them was a pick 6. And it's always, the offensive line let him down. The defense let him down. And I've said it before, and I've said it to every Kirk Cousins fucking defender that exists on the internet. Why did Case Keenum go to the NFC Championship game? Well, we had the number 1 defense. Well, why don't you have the number 1 defense anymore? Because you paid Kirk Cousins a top 5 quarterback money? This is your top 5 quarterback money? This is what he's doing? This weekend, when we watch all these games that you're talking about, oh, we're in week 17. This is where all the seedings get fucking determined. This is whatever happens. How did Aaron Rodgers look? How do we think Burrow's going to look tonight? How do we think Allen's going to look? How'd Mahomes look? How'd fucking Daniel Jones look? How'd Trevor Lawrence look? How did, like, you know, I mean, and by the way, I'm not claiming Daniel Jones to be a top fucking tank, but again, he didn't get down 30 points to the fucking Colts. They beat the shit out of the Colts, right? This isn't a situation where you go into week 17 and your elite quarterback is suddenly starts diarrheaing in his purple pants.
I was laughing. I've seen all the memes and shit today on fantasy football stuff. Everyone talking about how Justin Jefferson didn't show up yesterday. It's like, what's he supposed to do? Pass it to himself?
Yeah.
Like, that's showing you right there what having a arguably top 3 receiver in the NFL, how far that can get you. But sooner or later.
And listen, Jair Alexander has been playing great lately.
Yeah.
I mean, every week now he's showing up. He's wearing big hats. He's doing crazy after the game interviews.
What's up with the big hats?
I don't know. The big hat's wild.
Dude, I love the big hat.
Can I get a Dirty Sports one made?
Yeah. I mean, I remember back in the day, you used to rock. You remember when you rock your big, rock your. It was like an Andy Ruther big hat move.
Are you talking about the cowboy hat or just the big hat?
The big hat, just the big hat.
I used to have hats that were so much bigger than my head.
Yeah. You have your ears tucked in,
Bro.
But here's the thing, the Giants, who are locked into the 6th seed right now. There's a good chance they'll play the Vikings. And when I go through the NFC playoff potential, including the Seahawks, who we lost to, including the Lions, who we lost to, including the Packers, including the Tampa Bay Bucks, including the Eagles, who wiped their asses with us, including the Dallas Cowboys, who beat us twice. There is no team that I want to play in the NFC playoffs more than the Vikings.
Yeah. No, for sure.
No team. Especially when you see what, Jair Alexander is doing yesterday and Jefferson not showing up. It's like Justin Jefferson's amazing. He's probably the best, if not one of the best receivers in the league. But we also played the Vikings in Minnesota when they had to kick a 61-yarder for the win without Adoree Jackson, who will be back come playoff time. It's like I honestly, not even the Bucks. I wouldn't rather play the Bucks. Yeah, as much as the Giants have owned Tom Brady over the years, I don't want to play the Bucks. If I have to play a team, give me the fucking Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, conversely, I wouldn't want to play the Packers. I said this last week, and I know you and I maybe disagree on this. Even like the Niners, I could totally see the Packers, if they make the playoffs, going to a place like San Francisco and winning. When they have a defense playing, Aaron Rodgers didn't have to do. He didn't even throw for 200 yards yesterday.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
Listen, I don't think anybody wants a piece of Aaron Rodgers, but if there's a team that I don't think the Packers match up well with, it's that Niners team. I mean, honestly, that's the team that I don't want to play for sure. In fact, I was getting sort of fantasy playoff runs in my mind. I was like, and it looks like we'll probably sit a bunch of people since we're locked into the 6th, but I was like, if Jalen Hurts doesn't play or whatever this weekend and the Giants were to somehow beat the Eagles, the Cowboys could jump them, and we could have a Niners 1, Cowboys 2, Vikings 3, Bucks 4, Eagles 5, Giants 6, Packers 7, and then we would get a potential Aaron Rodgers beats the Cowboys, which I could fucking for sure see happening. He's done that in Dallas before. Giants beat the Vikings, which I absolutely think is going to happen at this point. And then you would have a 7 seed that would have to go. You'd get Aaron Rodgers against the Niners in a round 2, and the Giants the winner of an Eagles-Bucks game. And I'm like, give me a chance to avoid the Niners until an NFC Championship game in San Francisco, where the Giants the Giants have beaten the Niners to go to the Super Bowl, I think 2 or 3 times. Let's go. Am I already plotting our route to the Super Bowl? Yes, I am.
I'm going to laugh so hard when you guys lose to the Vikings.
Well, here's the thing. We absolutely could lose to the Vikings, but that's the fact that we're even having this conversation is fantastic, and that's for sure the team that I want to play. Right. And I actually think that in my true soul, a championship season for the Giants is they've made the playoffs, beat a fraudulent Vikings team in Minnesota, and then whatever happens, then you lose, you get your ass kicked by a Niners team that's pass rush is out of control. So be it,
So you guys were you were either flying or you were in an airport yesterday during that Vikings-Packers game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to I know how
I watched it on my phone.
Okay, so I know how hard it is to announce games. I'm usually trying not to be too critical. I do want to say something about Tony Romo. Like, I know I was anti-Romo when he came on and everybody stroked him off. Dude, he's such a dork. I find Romo cringe. In fact, I might put Romo now on my most annoying announcer list. Because I think he tries so hard to be like cutesy funny. I find him unbearable at this point. Normally I don't find guys unbearable. I'm just like, whatever, it is what it is. I find him unbearable, and he like thinks he's funny, and he's kind of just a cheddar dick.
I mean, I think the stroking of Romo is because There's just like, and I've famously said on this show 1,000 times, like, I'll watch games without sound, or especially in the NFL, I'll be bouncing around. Like, I'm not even really tuned into what
Total serial killer tendency, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who watches games without
In the
sound?
dark.
And there was a
Jeffrey Prano.
and there was a conversation that's going on because the this baseball side note right now, the Wilpons still own SNY, so the Steve Cohen blank checkbook is not a factor in the negotiations with Keith Hernandez, who is up for a contract. And people were like, if you had to sign one, Correa or Keith, and I'm like, anybody who says Correa isn't a Mets fan, we need Keith way more than we need Correa. It's the only reason I listen to fucking have the sound on during Mets games is Gary, Keith, and Ron. But I was a fan of Romo to start because I thought he was looking at the game in a way that was, he was fresh off the field. And I still like his analysis of what teams are going to try to do and what they're not going to try to do. But I agree with you, because he's gotten more comfortable.
Oh my God.
He's like showing his personality more. And the fact of the matter is Tony Romo doesn't have a personality.
He's such a dork.
He doesn't. I mean, and what's amazing, I hate to, make everything again about why the Giants are the class of the NFC East historically. But like, I'd rather watch Eli Manning read a fucking deli menu than listen to Tony Romo call a football game. Like you go on the Monday Night Manning cast. I mean, talk about the just the charisma level, the quality of humor, the everything. Like, I'd rather watch Eli Manning call a Pop Warner game than listen to Tony Romo call the Super Bowl.
What do you think?
I'd rather watch Icky Woods go to a deli and order cold cuts than watch anybody read a deli menu.
What's your first what's your first big Bengals memory, and like when did you become a super fan?
This is exactly how it happened. My mom married my dad.
That's how that happens.
Yeah. And I was 8.
I guess not always in Ohio. Sometimes they're not married at all.
So they get married, and I'm like 8 at the time. And
some couples in Ohio just have baby mamas. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm trying to every time the Bengals would win, which is very rare, like this is after the 88-89 season, every time they'd win, he'd like order pizza and be real happy. So I remember being a little kid, like cheering for them to win, because I was like, if they win, I know I'm getting pizza.
Yeah.
And so it just like stuck with me. Like I remember some fucking hard years, like the Klinglers, the fucking
Justin's like, I remember one year I had pizza one time.
Yeah.
The whole year. We had
Christmas.
one pizza.
It was we didn't win. It was just Christmas.
It was just Christmas.
No, like, dude, I remember being excited about Kajana Carter. Like, our whole family's like, we got Kajana Carter.
And
this is our
they
year.
traded up to get him.
Yeah, this is our year.
And then he shreds his knee.
Achilles Smith. This is going to be the guy that's going to take us. So, no, it was probably like late 90s. I mean, early 90s. But then when I was deployed, when I was in the Army, like, I remember being deployed the year Palmer got his knee shredded. And that year was when I started getting, like, turnt, like, and since that year, that's when, like, that's when Randy was born. Randy was born in, like, 2005.
Now, let me ask you something.
Which is when I got that Palmer jersey,
Yeah.
2005.
Let me ask you something. All those, because I know who you are as a fan.
Yeah.
So I know this happened. You for sure had years where you were having good years with Palmer, and you were like, "This is it. This is our
For
fucking
sure.
year." Yeah.
No, the year that we
And do you remember
the year his knee got shredded, I was like, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, nobody can stop this
A
offense.
few weeks before, they had that offensive shootout. Remember with the Colts?
Yeah.
And
And
everybody.
do you remember the pain that you felt when Carson Palmer would eventually let you down?
Yeah.
Explain it to Vikings fans. Just prep them for what they have. Explain to Vikings fans what they're going to have to deal with. Tell them what it's like when you don't get pizza.
Oh, man. And then you
Tell them how it feels.
and then
when
you're going to be excited this offseason. Like, you know what? This was a learning experience. This was a good year. And you got some bad years coming. Like, Justin Jefferson's probably gone. Justin Jefferson probably has PTSD right now. He's like over there watching his old college teammates in Cincinnati, watching Jamar and Joe, like just crying at night. Like, I got this fucking dork throwing me footballs now. Like, man,
They dress him up like a troll doll whenever they win.
Yeah, he doesn't even realize
He's like a chihuahua that you own. You're like, put him in a sombrero.
yeah.
Put chains on him. What will he look like in sunglasses?
They're laughing at you, bud.
Fucking dorkest fan base of all time.
Yeah.
That team, by the way, it's like when I think about it, when you talk about it, when I think about that LSU team, when you talk about Jefferson, Chase, and Burrow,
That's unfair.
like think about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild to think like those guys were all?
You're welcome.
Wait, they had a stud running back too. That's great in the NFL.
Was it Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't it Edwards-Helaire too?
Yeah.
It's like how is this even fair? It's crazy. I see it on his face. You can just tell he doesn't want to be there. That's my take. Justin Jefferson.
Who'd
Like-
want to be in Minnesota?
Well, I think he just doesn't.
Cincinnati.
He doesn't want to play. He just doesn't want to play with Cousins.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? Prano's right. He's like, bro, everyone's laughing at you, not with you.
Yeah.
Like,
You like that? They're like, no, we just got our ass kicked in Green Bay. We do not like that. You're like, guys, what do you want to dress me up like on the plane today? And they're like, bro, you threw 4 fucking picks. You threw 3 picks and had a fumble. Like, so you're not dressing me up like a troll?
No chains.
no
No.
cosplay.
No? I was thinking maybe like sexy cowboy. And they're like, just go to the back of the plane, Kirk.
Yeah. MC Hammer Pants. Come on, something.
So if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, you're for sure gonna cry, right?
Oh yeah. For sure, 100%.
Like, did
I
you
would.
cry? Did you cry last
He
year?
was crying this. I heard
no,
him crying this
no,
morning.
I
that he was
cried-
going to
I
the
did-
Game.
no,
I came down to get coffee. I heard him like just like sobbing down here. He's like, Monday Night Football for the fucking AFC North. I was like, what's going on down there?
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm an emotional guy. No, I cried when they won the Raiders game last year. When they won that first playoff game, like I fell to the ground and cried.
You fell to the ground.
Yeah. Well, I was already on the ground, like celebrating because right after the interception, and while I was down there, like it just hit me. Like, I mean, I wasn't like bawling or anything, but I for sure was like choked up. Like,
So is this your Bengals tattoo here?
no. Well, yeah, that one.
That's a
and,
tiger.
and that guy back there.
So you have 2 tigers.
Yeah. Turn.
When did you get the tigers? And how far apart?
Oh, this one was during pandemic, so 2020,
Okay,
and this one was like 2009.
gotcha. Do you have any like? Do you like Frosted Flakes?
They are good.
Like I didn't know.
I mean, I'd go so far as to say they're great.
Yeah. Hey, podcast over.
God damn.
I can't wait for Joe Burrow career to be over and the Bengals to return to just Bengal mediocrity and Justin have to tattoo Siegfried and Roy on his body. So he's like, no, I just love tigers, man.
Dude, I mean, it's gonna happen. They'll be back to where they were, but
Yeah.
I stay with them. I'm a good boyfriend, man. I stay loyal.
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, listen, we've talked a lot on this show about quarterbacks and contracts, and you guys have Chase, who's great. You're already talking about Higgins potentially having to go next year because you can't pay all these guys.
He's staying.
It's just the way it goes. Them's the facts of life. Is you can't pay all these guys, and when you make a decision like the Vikings made to pay a quarterback that they shouldn't have, they have to let other guys go. You guys will have to let other people. You will have to let people go to pay Joe Burrow.
But
that
here's
being
the thing.
said, that being said, nice window right now. Nice window right now
it's
to
a
win
good,
it.
It's a sexy window right now. But here's the thing: we have to let people go. Me and Andy, it's almost like an every Sunday text. Joe Burrow is making somebody that looks like your local garbage man
Yeah, that's what great
into a
quarterbacks do.
stud receiver. This little cheese actor, he's really good.
Trenton Irwin.
Yeah.
Show some respect to Trenton Irwin.
Sorry, Ti.
Velveeta.
Ti. Yep. Velveeta.
Trenton Irwin, the blackest name on the whitest dude of all time. It's a Trent
But he's
Irwin.
making him a threat.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
You
Kratos,
picture Trent Irwin. You picture like a legit 1970s pimp, and he's like, pick one of my women.
a safety from
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah.
yeah, not some long-haired hippie from California.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you say Trent Irwin. I feel like the name Trent Irwin is what Walt Clyde Frazier uses for his hotel name.
But he looks like
When he checks into a hotel on the road, he's like, put it on to Trenton Irwin. And they're like, excuse me?
Trenton Irwin looks like Trevor Lawrence's second cousin.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Trenton Irwin looks like Trevor Lawrence's afterbirth.
yeah.
It's like the leftover shit after Trevor Lawrence came out.
No, but you're right, man. That's the mark of a good quarterback, like just in general. Like if you can turn no names into names.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Brady made a career doing that in New England. So did Peyton Manning. It's like that's the difference.
Yeah.
And to not to keep harping on this, but to go back to Kirk Cousins, you can talk about numbers all you want. Where is he without Justin Jefferson? The yards after catch, the deep. I mean, it's true. Like, where is he?
Well, I mean, you look at even just that Giants game, even the games that they've escaped. You know, forget when they played playoff teams and they got their asses blown out. But the Bills game that they escaped, the Kirk Cousins throwing a ball directly to a safety standing alone, and Justin Jefferson going up and pulling it in with one hand, a terrible throw. And Justin Jefferson saves the game. The field goal set up at the end of the Giants game where Kirk Cousins takes an awful sack, and they're just trying to get close, and they just run a screen to Justin Jefferson, and he gets them to within 61 yards, which they hit.
Yeah.
The Vikings are frauds for that reason alone. Is like they need that guy to exist.
Sure.
Dare I ask this question?
Yeah, go for it.
Carson Wentz playing quarterback right now for the Vikings. Similar numbers?
No.
Probably no. But who knows?
He's terrible. That decision to start him yesterday.
Right.
I saw Rich Eisen with a great tweet. We need a 30 for 30 about why he played yesterday. Ron Rivera, like what is you doing? You were right there. They weren't in the playoff hunt when Wentz went down. Heineke gets him into the playoff hunt. Heineke beats the Eagles.
And the team likes playing with Heineke. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of Cousins.
Yeah.
Like they kind of rally around him, and they like it.
Yeah. But the other thing is, I understand that you have to evaluate your quarterback situation going into next year. Obviously, it's such an important position. But like at this point, with all the tape that you have on Wentz and all the tape that you have on Heineke, he's started 25 games over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
With how he played in that playoff game, even though they lost. Sort of the thing with Ron Rivera, who I think is a pretty good coach, obviously more on the defensive side of the ball.
Sure.
But if you don't have enough tape, then maybe you're not qualified to even make the decision because you have plenty of tape on both the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
No, 100%. Yeah, it was one of those.
And also, who's evaluating quarterbacks in Week 17 when you're still in the playoffs?
Sure. Didn't make any sense.
Like they win that game, they have a chance to be in the playoffs.
This has been a crazy year, just how things have played out for different teams. Like the Dolphins are fascinating to me. They were 8-3 at one point.
Yeah.
They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah. And we talked about it, dude. That was the game. That was the Niners game. We talked about it. We're like, oh, here's a chance for him to show us what he's doing. He's going against the best defense in football on the road. And we even said, you don't have to win this game, but you have to show up.
Yeah.
He throws a little slant to start the game, goes for a touchdown. After that, it's a debacle.
Sure.
And they've lost every game starting that night.
Crazy.
It is crazy. The AFC though to me is just like I still wouldn't be shocked. I know it's top heavy. I wouldn't be shocked if there was an upset though.
The Chargers are scary.
I was just gonna say that. Like you.
The Jags are kind of scary right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
Whatever team sneaks into that 7 spot, the Pats, the Jets, whatever, that's not as scary.
Dude, if the Chargers made the Super Bowl, and I don't think they will because I think their coaches.
Were the Jets eliminated?
Yeah.
Jets were eliminated. I guess it would be the Steelers, the Pats. Miami still have a chance of getting in there?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't really fear anybody coming out of that 7th spot.
But
You don't want to play the Chargers right now, and you don't want to play the Jags.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Chargers, I think their coach is a total idiot. But if the Chargers made the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be shocked, right? Because they're playing with house money. They're getting their guys
I'd be
back.
shocked. I'd be shocked.
You would be shocked.
Yeah, but I also think I think, and I told you I went back and listened to our preview episode a couple weeks ago because I was looking for something. I think I predicted them to go to the Super Bowl, which is cringeworthy right now. But also, it's not as cringeworthy as 3 weeks ago when I listened to it for the first time. I was like, "Eee." Now I'm like, well, and that girl,
Yeah.
the eating meme.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dude, for you, I'm telling you, as diehard Bengals, I think that game, if it was a 6-3 game and the Chargers came in town, it reeks of an upset.
I could see that, but I don't know. I think that's who I want the Ravens again. I want the Ravens.
Yeah, you do.
I want the Ravens, Pats.
That's the other team. That's the other team I wouldn't really fear if I was an AFC team.
Ravens,
Lamar
Pats, and
Jackson,
Chargers.
Tyler Huntley, I don't care. I'm to me this Ravens team. And by the way, can we talk a bit because here's the thing with me, Andy, and you know this about me. And I guess everybody who's listened to nearly 900 episodes of the Dirty Sports podcast knows this about me right now. It's like I say some things and then I mean, how many opinions get shared on the show? 1,000.
Yeah.
Every week. It's when people come at me about my opinions with such anger and such animosity and I love it when people dismiss me as stupid and then it all comes exactly how I said it's going to be. You guys as Bengals fans have still not locked up the AFC North. If you don't win tonight in a game that they're currently underdogs in, you go into next week's game with the AFC North on the line against the Ravens. It is not crazy to say that there's a good chance that the Ravens would be in control of the AFC North going into next week if Lamar Jackson hadn't missed the last 4 games or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've lost 2 of those games now.
Correct.
But here's my
And
thing.
my criticism of the Ravens is Lamar Jackson having a quarterback that needs to run to be successful, leaves you susceptible to injury. The best ability is availability. If you don't play 17 games in the NFL at quarterback, I kind of don't even want to hear your name.
Right.
And the anger that I got from Ravens fans. And here you are, now needing pseudo miracles to win the division that you were in control of because your quarterback got hurt. Shocker. Joe Prano nails it again. Vikings fans, be careful with your shit talk now. I see the future.
But here's the thing about the AFC is we've talked about this. You guys have talked about it on the pod. You don't want to play – you want to be that team that doesn't have to play the Bengals, Chiefs, and Buffalo. That you don't want 2 of those 3 teams.
Yeah.
So when I sit here and say, okay, I'd take the Chargers right now, then you guys are like, no, you don't want the Chargers. It's like, okay, what about the the fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Jags.
Okay, then yeah, you don't want the Jags. It's like, well, we got to play a football game. You can't sit here and say, you don't want this team, you don't want this team, you don't want this team.
You want to play the Ravens and whoever gets the 7th seed.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want, what the Ravens right now would be coming in.
Or Patriot.
Yeah.
I'd play the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Again.
Yeah. The Ravens would be the 6th seed right now?
Is that what it is?
Or would the Ravens be the 5 seed right now?
I think the Chargers would be the 6th.
Chargers are the 6th seed. But I would assume that could.
No, Chargers are 5 right now.
Right. So, yeah. You want to finish 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 or 4, you get a Jags or a Chargers. Well, you don't get a Jags. Jags would be the 4.
If we lock up the AFC North, want to do a Jaeger bomb tonight with me?
Sure, absolutely.
A Jaeger bomb.
Let's go back.
Bro, bringing
Let's
me
do
back
it.
to my college days.
Let's do it.
Is that still a thing?
We'll find out.
People still doing that?
Flaming Dr. Pepper while we're at it.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, I love Dr. Pepper. I also love Irish car bombs.
That's what we call my neighbor, Flaming Dr. Pepper.
Oh, no.
Shout out Double G.
Canceled.
This is crazy. We're going to the game here in a couple
I know.
hours.
It's amazing.
Like, it's
Is this your first Monday night home football game?
my first Monday night. No. I mean, my first Bengals Monday night game.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the greatest day
You
of your
guys are
life.
lucky that I'm not officially rooting for the Bengals. And by the way, I'm kind of low. I mean, it's a home
You're
game.
going
So
to the game. Yeah.
I'm going to the game. It's like I'm kind of rooting for you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm not officially rooting for you guys because I'm 0-2 this year for my team. I've the only 2 games I've been to are the 2 Dallas games. 0-2 Dallas versus Dallas. One of them included Beergate. So yeah, it's a rough year.
Are you getting pretty turned tonight, Justin?
I mean, yeah, but I know.
Are we taking Jaeger bombs right now? Do you have Jaeger in your
Yes.
house?
I don't.
But I do know this. I'll say
My
this.
motherfucking dude's got 8 different kinds of cookies. No Jaeger.
I got Buckeyes.
He's got 3 Christmas trees. No Jaeger. Can we talk about your 3 Christmas tree
Oh,
situation?
your top shot.
Yeah, go for it.
What? Go for it. Yeah, let's talk. Like, why do you have 3 Christmas trees? These are all fake.
Bro,
Hey, like,
why are you asking me?
yeah, but I'm saying like,
You,
you
think,
know,
you think I control this decision?
I am
I'm
100% serious when I say I am not sure your girlfriend exists. Like, there's a small part of me. Like, there's a lot of evidence of your girlfriend existing. There's a dog. There's a closet full of clothes. There's 3 Christmas trees. The
2 stockings.
Yeah, 2 stockings.
Once for
the
the dog.
place is well decorated. It's not like the smut shack where there's like, free posters from McDonald's Lakers games pinned to the wall with Scotch tape. Just a framed frat house collage.
It's in the garage, by the way.
But the most evidence I've had so far is that when they tried to turn on your YouTube TV today, there was a Britney account.
Yeah.
Now,
Do you even matter? So
I haven't met her. Like, I come to your place where you supposedly live with your girlfriend, and you're like, yeah, she's not going to be here the next 2 days.
well, so she
Yeah, it's suspect.
What if we're just in an Airbnb? And we
That's
don't
what I'm telling you.
even know
This could. I mean, also, I know Brittany may listen to the Showtime, but it's like it's got Airbnb vibes. There's
does,
3
actually.
Christmas trees. They got a little welcome,
Miss
there's like
Pac-Man
Merry
machine.
Christmas on everything. It's all very like, this could be like this is hanging in 25 Airbnbs in the country. This fucking
yeah.
reindeer picture.
yeah.
Here, we'll ask the Dirtballs. Let's give them your address. Let's have them stop by,
Yeah.
see what they think. Give them your phone number again.
So
Don't call me.
it might be a giant ploy that I'm pulling over everybody.
I love it. I love it. I'd be even more proud of you than I am.
You'd be proud of me?
That would be amazing.
It's some shit out of like fucking. You remember the movie Psycho? Like, I've heard her talk too, but it's like off camera. You've been off camera with her when we were setting up to do the podcast. Are you doing both voices? Like it's like when the guy in Psycho's talking to his mom.
Yeah. Well,
It's all very suspect.
We
Here's-
should look in the closets.
here's the deal.
I did meet Roscoe. There is a fat. Roscoe's confirmed.
He's a chunk-
Roscoe the fat dog.
He's a chunky little
Yeah.
monkey.
Build a bear.
yeah.
He was basically teabagging you last night.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah. He does look like a Build-A-Bear, but then it was like a 10-year-old went to do a Build-A-Bear, and he was like,
They
"Can I
didn't
have
get
a
his
smaller
head."
head?" And they're like, "No, what? No, that's the size body. No, I want a smaller head."
Dude,
What?
this is Roscoe. Like, Roscoe runs this place.
Yeah. This is Casa de Roscoe.
Dude, he does what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's never lived in a place like a house and a yard. So he just literally is like, this is like, the basement was supposedly my spot, which we all know has been overtaken with Christmas trees and all this ridiculous paraphernalia everywhere.
How many Christmas trees were purchased this year?
2.
2. Oh, so she only had one coming into this.
Yeah,
Christmas
she was in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. And then she was like, "We need 2 more Christmas trees."
Bro, I don't get involved.
When you guys did Christmas Day, did you open gifts here?
Yeah.
Did you scatter them amongst the different Christmas trees?
So that was a
Was
point.
this like Roscoe's Christmas tree full of gifts down here?
So it's funny you bring that up because I had put some, like the room to the right when you walk in the house, I put a bunch there because there was too many presents underneath the main tree
We call that Chad's room.
in the living room. right?
Yeah.
In the living room.
We got Chad's room when you walk into the right, Roscoe's room downstairs.
And
Justin almost choked on his Miller Lite.
basically, she got mad at me for not putting them all in the main area.
Right.
And I was like,
And you were like,
there's no room.
and you were like,
And we also have
babe,
3.
you have 3 Christmas
That's
trees.
also what I said.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I thought my mom loved Christmas. Like, this is, like, a next level. I don't even know how to handle it.
So many nutcrackers.
So many.
There's a lot.
So many everything.
Yeah.
Dude, it's color coordinated. Like,
It
these
is.
pillows on your right are color coordinated with how this tree is decorated.
That's what
Yeah.
most Airbnbs do.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a home that was
I think we
staged to
cracked the
sell.
code.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope she does. Well, I hope she does show up before you leave. She's staying with her folks so we can,
So you claim.
yeah,
Yeah.
allegedly. But she needs to hear this. She'll hear it. But this is a thing I'm not winning, and I just like, why fight it? Like, she's obsessed with Christmas,
Yeah.
right? Like, what are you gonna do,
There's worse things to be obsessed with.
right? So, like, I don't know, crack. Like
Math.
everything's a learning curve
Reality
for.
TV.
Obsessed with that too. Like,
Lying.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Here we go again.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Do I sound terrible?
No,
Nah,
you're
you're fine.
good.
You're good.
I just, I hate with all the COVID shit.
COVID.
I hate, like, tonight I'm gonna be coughing
And people are gonna be looking at you.
and like,
Midwest doesn't give a fuck, dude. Are you kidding me? Midwest doesn't give a shit.
No,
Be
it,
a
it
beginner.
doesn't exist here.
They're like, oh, he's probably vaping in his jacket or something. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. Oh, dude, he coughed right before he made the field goal. His coughs were lucky. Cough in my face. Cough in my chili.
what'd you think of the Geta sandwich I made for you guys?
Good,
delicious.
great.
So you kind of knocked Geta a few weeks ago.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like a lot of things in the pork world, you don't want to think too much about it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what is it? Oh, it's ground up asshole that they put with oats and fucking they rolled it into a loaf. You're like, ugh, that sounds disgusting. But it was definitely like a salted meat patty.
Yeah.
It's probably not a whole lot different than what you get on an Egg McMuffin.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pulling up Prize Picks. I want to take a couple.
Couple prize pick ganders at tonight's game.
Yeah. Wow. Look how much higher the yards are for Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. Dirtballs, if you haven't used Prize Picks, download Prize Picks today and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code DIRTY when you sign up. Once again, all first-time users that deposit and use promo code DIRTY will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So if you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. So they have the yards for Burrow way too high, in my opinion.
What is it?
283.5.
I like
Justin's saying more.
it's
Over.
higher. It's higher than I would have expected, but like I would not be surprised if he's over that. In fact, I would say let's go over. Let's go more than.
Allen is 256.5. He's almost 30 yards lower. What do you think?
I'm going more than.
I'd go
more than.
both. I'd go both over.
Oh, here's one I like. I always like doing the quarterback rushing yards. Burrow 13.5 rushing yards.
That's one improv bad snap that he can make into something.
Or just like anything.
Yeah.
Like that's, to me, that's a 9 or 10 yard run and then a few other scrambles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like more on that one. Mixon pretty low, 50.5 yards.
Yeah. But I think this is the Pirine effect. I don't know. I think that's
It's pretty accurate. Are you gonna put? You can gamble in Ohio now.
Oh yeah. P. Rose went out there and made the worst bet of all time. P. Rose probably had a lot of shitty bets in his day. Imagine your last bet knowingly being your worst bet.
yep.
He went out. the first legal sports bet in the state of Ohio. Is that correct? Was Pete Rose betting on the Reds to win the World Series?
How much did you put down on it?
I have no idea. I'm sure if I know anything about Pete Rose, he's like, we're doing this fucking. This is like a whole fucking thing. You guys are paying for this fucking bet.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking baseballs I got to sign at Caesars to fucking pay for this?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. Dude, now you're trolling the team by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Reds are projected to win 61 games.
Also, Pete Rose, do you remember me calling this? Remember me saying Pete Rose should be the first person to make a bet in Ohio?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I swear, the fucking Ohio Gambling Board listening to the Dirty Sports podcast.
Probably.
Also, Miller Lights should be free for Joe Prano at Bengals games.
Yep.
Oh man, I feel like today we'll end up keeping this a little shorter, so we can get down there. You guys probably aren't too hungry, are you?
No, we had that Geta.
Get us sitting good right now.
But we're supposed to have some of the macaroni stew or whatever it is today, right?
Gold
Coney's.
Star?
Gold Star, yeah.
Coney's.
Coney's. Is Coney's a hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fuck with.
It's like a cheese cone. It's like a hot
Yeah,
dog,
like
chili,
the
and
little
cheese.
ones with just stacked with cheese.
I don't fuck with hot dogs really normally.
Really?
You don't.
I mean,
You know who loves hot dogs?
who's that? Roscoe?
Bro, I mean, he will literally straight deep throat an entire hot
I
dog.
know. You're like, my dog won't stop. I walk my dog all the time and won't lose weight. I also feed him cheese conies. You're every dude in Ohio who's like, babe, I work out. I walked the golf course yesterday. She's like, you ate 11 cheese-covered hot dogs. I know, but I got my cardio.
Oh man, yeah. He
Roscoe's built like everybody who goes to a fucking Midwest Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep. Your bartender at the
Roscoe
Buffalo
looks
Wild
like, yeah,
Wings.
right, yeah,
That calls
exactly.
you
Yeah,
babe.
yeah,
That calls you babe and sweetie.
yeah.
I'm telling you though, man. No, ever since he got pancreatitis, we stopped giving him human food.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost any weight.
Yeah.
Now maybe I do too many treats. I don't know if the pepperoni
Yeah.
too many times a day. What was Vince's go-to treat?
Vince was. I mean, we've talked about it a million times. Vince is a go-to carb guy.
Sure.
Vince loved his carb.
Pizza.
Vince would rather, you get like a pepperoni or one of those little bacon strips or something like that. Vince would eat that shit, but Vince would also rather have a piece of bread that fell behind the fridge 6 weeks ago. Like the dude wanted his carbs. Rip off a piece of tortilla for Vince. Vince is going crazy. Drop a fucking slice of pizza somewhere in Venice. Vince will find it. Vince was the Sherlock Holmes of drops pizzas. He's like, something tells me it's down this way.
By the way, that's
My
what.
good man, Watson, I do declare, I believe there's a pizza down this alley.
Oh shit! That's my favorite. That top 10 low key. One of the things I miss most about Venice Beach.
Vince trolling for pizza.
But not just that, the random slices of pizza
Oh, yeah.
that a homeless guy took one bite out of and was like,
Yeah.
this isn't up to my standards,
Yeah.
and just threw it off.
Yeah, and they never look like they fell. They look like they were flung from down
Yeah.
the block. Like you see it, and there's like this skid mark where it hit the ground, and you're like, what kind of force was that thrown with? Did a skateboarder drop that as he was like 360ing through the skate park, through the fucking vert ramp?
Dude, you'll love this. So I posted, I don't know if you saw on Twitter like a couple weeks ago, I posted a video of me running my head into the ring cam
Yeah.
like a total idiot.
Yeah, I did see that.
And somebody, like a dirtball, wrote like, wow, Ruther, like nice neighborhood. And shout out to Nick D'Alessandro. He wrote, yeah, like things have changed. Nick tweeted out the video and I totally forgot about it. When the homeless person on Mildred lit all their stuff on fire and the fire rose like above my parking garage. Remember that? And it was like literally almost like lit an entire building on fire. And the video is great. You can just hear me. Like you don't see me. You see the scene. You hear me being like, what happened here? And somebody's like, they just decided to light their stuff on fire.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine that happened in your neighborhood now. Some homeless guy just came and lit a fire. Your neighbor would come over like, you guys having a barbecue?
I got ice cream.
the HOA would not like that too much. No. There's rumors that I might be the eventual HOA.
You should.
President.
Hilarious.
I'd move here.
When we
Me and
got
you'll get
here,
a place,
yeah,
yes.
when we got here, we were like, Andy, where's your place? He was telling us how he's like in city limits. He's already got his political career lined up. He's like, well, I'm within city limits, so I could run for mayor. He's gonna go HOA president, mayor,
He's going to build a wall
and
in
then he's
between
gonna have
the city.
and then he's gonna have a shitty TV talk show where he does fucking paternity tests, and he's gonna basically do the Jerry Springer route.
Yeah.
Mayor of Cincinnati.
Yeah. Good pull there. A lot of people don't realize that. Former mayor. You
What
did
was it? He got caught writing a check to a hooker?
A bad check.
A bad check.
To
Not
a
even.
hooker.
Yeah. Guess what? You know what? Any check you write to a hooker is a bad check. Do not write checks to hookers. That's not how you pay hookers.
Dude, I saw somebody writing a check in the last few months.
So weird.
It's so weird. Like I almost did like I'm blacking out to a time warp. Like, what is happening? It's at a grocery store. Like, what is this person doing?
Even when I see people using like random ATMs, like the ATM at like 7-Eleven or someone's like, you love cocaine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what are you doing? You love cocaine.
I remember back in the day, like your mom would like use a check at the supermarket.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
had to write little notes in the back, and I would always be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, and like the whole like balancing of a checkbook.
Yeah.
And it's like Jesus.
And then you remember back in the day, you use a card and they had to like swipe.
Oh,
over
yeah,
it
yeah,
to-
yeah.
Crazy.
I love that we're talking about fucking carbon copy credit card things when most dirtballs are so young they don't know what zip codes are.
Oh no. By the way, good reminder. But glad you brought up zip code. You guys should all be getting your koozies. I sent them out in the last week. We all know how slow the U.S. Postal Service is right now, but check your mail. Koozies should be arriving if they didn't already. Well, I guess we had holidays, but yeah, they should be arriving this week. And you're right. Many of the dirtballs would give me their address without a zip code.
Yeah.
And I'd have to do that. Hey, show me that zip.
Yeah. Dickheads.
You turn, bud. You turn.
I'm getting there.
You
I'm
turn.
ready.
Like, what's the reaction gonna be?
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm liking this guy right
just,
here. Who's that?
I'm just seeing Justin. You remember the dad going to the game in Rudy?
Yeah.
He's like, this is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen. He starts crying.
So what time do you want to go in the game from the tailgate?
I want to be there when they run out because you know that stadium, the roar and all the
What about the rule?
fireworks.
So you know how they do the ruler of the jungle? It's like the Bengals version of like,
Yeah.
you know, like to start off.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
play Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Do you see who it is tonight?
Who is it tonight?
Let's see if you can remember these guys. The late '80s stud secondary. They call them the SWAT team.
It's right when I.
You'd be young. You and I would
Yeah.
be young.
Yeah. No.
One of them died in a car wreck.
Then how's he going to be there?
Well, he won't be there.
Oh.
There's four of them. There's David Fulcher,
Okay. Yeah.
Eric Thomas,
Okay.
and then Louis Billups is the one who died. I'm forgetting the fourth, but they're the ruler of the jungles. Do you remember how hard Fulcher used to hit? I don't know if you remember. It was before your time.
You still go to games now. You see Fulcher jerseys.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if
I've
you
seen
remember him at all. Like
Yeah.
Like
The original Legion of Boom.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
they call him the SWAT. They used to have that poster. They were all dressed in
I wonder
SWAT
if they
gear.
hated their fucking Jesus freak quarterback too, or was it Boomer then?
It would have been Boomer.
Boomer.
Wow.
Dude,
They probably did hate Boomer.
I used to have a poster in my bedroom from Kroger that said Bernie versus Boomer, and they had boxing gloves on, and they were facing each other. Look, you can look it up. Look up Bernie versus Boomer poster.
Oh my God.
I had this in my bedroom.
Bernie versus Boomer.
I was a low-key Bernie Kosar fan back in the day.
I just like that he gets wasted and goes on TV now.
Yeah.
There it is. Look, I had that.
It's the most Ohio shit I've ever heard.
I had
The
that.
Bernie versus Boomer Kroger poster. Free with a carton of grade A brown eggs.
This is unbelievable.
It was probably free with a carton of green.
You should get that
D
framed.
brown
That
eggs.
should be
Yeah.
your background.
Yeah.
Your backdrop in your
You know
studio.
his daughter did porn for a bit, right?
Who? Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar's. You didn't know that?
Did she have the curly hair?
You didn't know? I
Did
know.
the carpet match Bernie's drapes.
I think. Didn't we talk about that on the show?
I don't know. Mikey, my brother when we would go to Giants games when we were young, you know, we all know until Beergate that I would get to go in a very special area until Beergate. Whenever we would show up, one of the family members that was there always used to call my brother Mikey Bernie.
Really?
Yeah, because he had curly hair. He looked like Bernie Kosar. He's like, Bernie, what are you doing, Bernie? I'll never hear Mikey get called Bernie again because of Beergate, but it's fine. I love beer. Beer pays my bills.
Yeah, this is it. I've watched this. This is Kozar's daughter.
Doing porn?
Yeah.
Are you about to play porn on the Dirty Sports podcast?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna play. Yeah, this is her.
Oh.
I love how one of the first articles that comes out.
I can't even follow what's going on in this
It's
page.
black-
There's so
it's
many pop-ups.
It's Black Sports Online.
I was about to say this is kind of site Ruther's click-throughs send you to. Like, what am I looking at?
It's Black Sports Online. She went by the name of Lexi Silver.
Nice.
It's like 10 years ago.
Black Sports Online headline: former Browns quarterback and Kroger boxing poster star Bernie Kosar's daughter with second wife now doing porn pics and vids.
Yeah, this is like 10 years ago, man.
Didn't Bernie get a ring with the Cowboys?
I think you're right.
Didn't he come in and like kneel the ball at like one of the end of the Super Bowls? They, like,
Bro, she looks like him. You can see it there.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the.
It's like one of those. You see that a few weeks ago? I think we had in our group where they were like making all the quarterbacks into girls, and Burrow's like a smoke show.
Did you jerk off to that?
Bro, you'd fuck Burrow if he wasn't a girl.
Next question.
Let's wrap this up, okay? I need to get some more.
Miller Lite.
No, but you guys
Is that
should.
the show? How long have we done? I feel like we've been on like 45 minutes.
Like an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh,
Did you
wow.
want-
Really?
Did you want to talk about some more stuff? We can
No,
keep it short.
We can keep it tight.
I mean, I'm just so under the like. I need to blow my nose.
I want to trigger Vikings fans a little bit more, and also but I want to ask a serious question. As a Giants fan, I'm turned right now, right?
I get it.
But truly, I think this team's true ceiling right now is beating a fraudulent Vikings team and then probably losing to whoever else we would play after that. And honestly, if that happens, that's I'm popping champagne. If we win one playoff game, I pop champagne. The season's a success. There's been rumors of there's already talk that you know how reporters love to leak this shit, but like unnamed source, Giants are going to extend Jones and Barkley. Now, we've talked about it on this show before, Andy. I don't want either of these guys to get paid absurd money. But I will say this, and this is partially to trigger Vikings fans, but also as a conversation. I truly believe that Kirk Cousins could essentially not Kirk Cousins is essentially incapable of winning a Super Bowl. And I think that's the first thing that you have to look at when you're evaluating a quarterback is could your guy win a Super Bowl under anything but like extreme circumstances? Like, sure, could Kirk Cousins be Trent Dilfer? Yes, of course he could. There's not a lot of people who couldn't be the Trent Dilfer, have the greatest defense of all time and just whatever. But under non-extreme circumstances, I truly believe Kirk Cousins cannot win a Super Bowl. And now we are at a point where the Giants are thinking about extending Daniel Jones, and I don't want my team extending somebody. I saw Jeff Schwartz, famous, former Giants offensive lineman, now internet troll of the New York Giants, but he plainly said on Twitter yesterday, Daniel Jones cannot win a Super Bowl. True or false? Because I tweeted it yesterday prior to that, and not because of the Colts game, but just because how he's been playing lately. I don't think Daniel Jones can win a Super Bowl if they keep running him the way they were yesterday, because I think, as I've talked about with every quarterback, just especially come playoff time, if you need to do that to win, you're going to end up having Tyrod Taylor in a fucking NFC Championship game one day. But do you think Daniel Jones has Super Bowl winning ability on a team that's potentially growing like the Giants are, with a great coach, a great core for a defense? Obviously, you're going to have to add some sort of weapons around Saquon. But do you think Daniel Jones could win a Super Bowl under not extreme circumstances?
Most likely, I'd say no.
I don't know. I don't even think. I don't know. I think he could, but I think in a different situation. I think if he had a different, like you were saying, like
Well, we're signing T. Higgins.
yeah, no, shut up. No, I think that there have been quarterbacks that he's just as good, if not better than, that have won before. So
It really kind of what's crazy about it is I was watching the game yesterday, and the reason I tweeted what I tweeted, and some dirtballs took it to me, and I was predicting them to win the Super Bowl this year, which I'm not. But he's a polarizing guy. He's got Eli. He has an Eli Manning effect on the fans across the league. Eli Manning winning a Super Bowl triggered people. People were upset that Eli Manning won a Super Bowl. And I think a lot of people are becoming Eli Manning fans now after the fact. But there was something about him where like people just hated him. They just hated his face. They think he was a dork. They thought he was like whatever. Now we know Eli Manning's the coolest man to ever walk the earth. He's like a white shaft. But Daniel Jones gives me that vibe, and the fact that he gives me that vibe so hardcore, and the fact that Dable loves him so much, like it's over the last 3 weeks with the Commanders game, the way he played in the Vikings game, and the way he played in the Colts game, which obviously the Colts
They'll never
suck.
win a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones. I've never thought about it.
Okay. That's exactly what this is essentially exactly what I was hankering for. I was hankering for Andy Ruther to make a claim so that therefore it could basically guarantee that it happens.
you're trying.
I just don't think his upside's that good, that high.
Is he at his ceiling right now?
And he turns and he's been better with it, but he turns the ball over too much. Like,
Well, he doesn't turn the ball over this year. Giants have the least amount of turnovers in all of football this year.
but my point is, like, you see these guys.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you one question, because this is, I think, is really if this was Daniel Jones' first season in the league, would you have a different opinion?
Probably.
And essentially, in a way, it is his first year in the league.
I don't buy into that just because it's a new coach.
Well, look at Josh Allen after a couple seasons in the league, and now look at Josh Allen now. There were a couple people who would have said Josh Allen can't win a Super Bowl in year 2. There's for sure.
It's
people
not.
who
It's
have
not
said-
year 2 for Daniel Jones.
Well, it's not year 2 for Daniel Jones, no, but it's also, I mean, Jason Garrett can't even stumble through 10-second halftime intermissions without saying something dumb. They're like, you have 5 seconds, try to say anything. He's like, Tom Brady played great today. Back after this. And you're like, the fuck is happening? I mean, he had some of the worst coaching that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And now he has the guy who turned Josh Allen. Are the Buffalo Bills current favorites to win the Super Bowl, or are they 2?
They're probably favorites.
I'm in.
All right.
He's turned the corner for me. And listen,
Well,
I was at a point before.
You can be in. I'm not.
I was on this point. I'm not on the Daniel Jones will win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying there's a line. The first line is, could you win a Super Bowl with this guy? And I think he just bumped himself on this line. Meanwhile, and I'll trigger Vikings fans again, I think unless you have the best defense in all of football, which you had before you paid Kirk Cousins his money, which you had when you had Case Keenum, I just don't think in a non-elite defense situation that you can do that with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously,
No.
we don't think Cousins can win a Super Bowl. I mean, there's a few quarterbacks that can win it on their own. There's obviously more who can win it
With a good team.
With a good team, if they take care of the ball. I mean, your boy Russ won one.
Right. Now that's a once in a million situation, right? That's a top 3 defense ever. Would you say? 85 Bears, Ravens, and then you go probably Legion of Boom.
Yeah, I mean, they're all right up there.
Yeah.
For sure. You want to get some chili?
Yeah.
I cannot wait to sink my mouth into a coney.
Geta and chili.
You want to?
I'm getted out.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. We had Geta. We had Geta for breakfast. We had Geta for breakfast. We're having chili for lunch, and then we're gonna have a garbage can full of raw
Jägermeister.
Yeah, of raw beef for dinner. Like I don't know. Like how does this Midwest meat slide happen? If you start your morning with Geta and then you go to chili on top of spaghetti, what's your dinner at that point?
Bratwurst.
Hell yeah, baby. Love me some bratwurst.
Bratwurst like cooked in the river. Like what?
Oh yeah, some sauerkraut.
Talking my language.
Yeah.
Get going to this game?
Are you gonna get a Houday in?
Yep. Give me my Houday. Where's he at? I just gave That guy all the bets. Take all those bets.
Stolzy.
Stolzy, take all them bets. Burrow anytime touchdown, of course. Hendrickson, he'll get his sack. You're good to go.
Burrow anytime touchdown is throwing a touchdown?
I think rushing.
Oh, wow. You went Burrow rushing TD tonight.
Hey,
What is he, Daniel Jones?
how many does he have this year? 5? He gets them.
Yeah, he's had a lot this year. I don't know if he has 5, but yeah, he might have 5, something like that. Well, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Follow me at Joe Prano on all social media. I have shows coming up. I've send you guys to joeprano.com /shows. I'm having a little bit of a problem with my calendar at the moment, so some of the times and dates might be slightly off. I'm looking to fix that immediately. Shout me out or hit me up if you have Squarespace experience. So in the meantime, follow me at Joe Prano on all social media. We've got New York immediately after I leave here in Cincinnati. Comedy Cellar, the stand dates already booked, so follow me on Instagram for those. Vegas, the 16th to the 22nd of January. Wilmington, North Carolina, Dead Crow Comedy Club, headlining the 27th and 28th, 26th and 27th? 27th and 28th of January, Friday, Saturday, whatever that is. That'll be the weekend. I'll be probably in Wilmington, North Carolina, watching Giants-Niners NFC Championship game for a chance to prove Daniel Jones to go to the Super Bowl. And then we'll have the weekend off, the media week, while Daniel Jones.
All right, well, let's get to this tailgate.
At Bars on Wilshire.
All right, Dirtballs. Looking forward to running into some of you guys tonight. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.